Hello everyone, Megu here. Today I have Swift meta-analysis prepared for you. Let's start with how this boss even works. First, let's look at buffs. They are really simple. This time we just get 100% instinct damage and 100% dot damage. We also can get up to 25% score bonus by playing Season 4 decks, Hilde and Arabella in our comp. Let me explain how score even works. First, we are getting around 400,000 score from left side, and that score is not multiplied by our bonus. Only score that is multiplied is our right side score, like you can see in video. After combat ends, I only got 180,000 extra score. Based on my score, I did simple math to determine how big that 5% gap is. If you decide for some reason to not use Hilde or to not use Season 4 deck, and without that 5% extra score, with same damage, I would be at around 1.277 million score. If we compare my score to score that is around number that I calced, it's around 700,000 damage difference. It's around 20% more damage to get same score without Hilde or Season 4 deck in our team. And at higher damage, the score gap is even bigger. So, to anyone that was saying already that 5% doesn't matter, it does matter a lot. Let's also quickly talk about what boss even do in combat. He spawns 4 extra minions that, when they attack, give him permanent morale, and he also have 10 stacks that reduce the damage he takes. Each time we use attack card, that stack goes up and go down when we kill one of his extra minions. When his stacks reach 0, he stops spawning another minions and stun minions that are left on field, and also change his attack. If you stun him after he already attacked that turn, he will attack second time. And in this rift there is kinda big problem with stress generation from that boss. Also worth to note is that these minions have 50% damage reduction to make sure your Hilde can't kill them with arrow. And Hilde arrows are attack cards, so by not killing these minions with arrow, we are giving boss another stack of damage reduction that we need to somehow reduce. When we get boss to 0 stacks, we also get 200% extra dot damage. There is a way to kill them with E0 Hilde arrows, but for that we need really good stats and Sneering Dagger to apply vulnerable. But for that we need really good stats and Sneering Dagger to apply vulnerable. But there is one problem. If we hit same at after we kill it, it doesn't have vulnerable, so our Hilde don't kill it. That means we are building stacks on boss, and more stacks on boss is less damage from our main DPS. But there is simple solution to that problem. Say hello to Hilde 2. Not only it gives 10% crit chance, but also extra attack that kinda always kills these extra minions. As long as we crit them, but that shouldn't be problem. With E2, Hilde is really neutral or even positive on stacks on boss. And boss having less stacks means our Arabella do more damage to boss. And if we manage to stun him, we are getting dot damage buff. Let's start our build talk with Arabella. Her builds are always kinda same. Only thing that is different is what divines she plays. Most common divine is reduce cost or vulnerable on her Hollow Verdict. But to play vulnerable we have to pair her with someone like Mika or Typhera to have extra AP. For gear we want to farm her in swamp for maximum damage with things like Verdant and Gun. There is also option to play her a bit more consistent with Sneering Dagger, but that costs us damage. In armor slot there is also option to play boots for extra shields on kill. They really helps with stress, and as I said, that boss can stack stress really fast on us. There is also small tech with putting Divine on Observer. That card is really important to draw to build fracture stacks on boss a lot better. For that we can treat it as common card Divine. Then we also put that card on some of Hilde cards to have a lot better chance of drawing it early. In my best run I have few turns that Observer was at deck bottom, and these turns don't feel really good in terms of damage. For Hilde at E0, her deck is really consistent between players, mainly using her with hope to build some vulnerable stacks on boss, even if we go negative on boss passive, mainly using her as draw engine. There is also option to play her a bit more greedy with draw 2 lead cards version of draw and release. This way we can have more AP for other stuff, but I wouldn't recommend it after I played with it, since there are not that many lead cards in deck, so these cards can be at bottom and then we don't have value from it. This card can not draw anything since we already drawed all our lead cards. I would stick with basic draw 2 version. At higher dupes level, Hilde can be more used as vulnerable bot by duping her arrow card over draw and release. Since, as I said before, her E2 is really huge for this rift. Probably most important dupe overall. These extra quivers can build a lot of extra vulnerable stacks with Sneering Dagger. As you can see, current rank 1 player deck, he plays overall 3 quivers. He's also playing Narcissism Desire cards, since at E6 they have 25% extra crit chance from Hilde E6 and Arabella Max Dupe partner, so they don't need to play Control 5 as low investment players should do. They are simply playing Claim 9 for extra morale. Without Hilde E6 and Arabella Max partner, I would recommend you to play Control 5 and Claim 3 on your desired cards. For last slot there are few options, but mainly I would say Mika and Typhera, since they can generate extra AP, allowing you to play more greedy version of Arabella build with vulnerable divines. There you can see 2 example decks from leaderboard. Overall, I would say Typhera is a lot better since she gives 10% crit damage with her passive and 6% crit chance with her partner. But playing her turns may be a bit more difficult since she is using more actions. Also, as you can see, there is option that I would rather recommend on both Mika and Typhera of playing Knil Desire card. That card allows heal the first arrows to already hit target with vulnerable and kill them, so you don't have to use 2 arrows. And also, weaken on boss is really cool, so you don't take that much damage. I so far used Cassius, but I wouldn't recommend playing him. AP comfort from Mika and Typhera is a lot better than few extra morale he provides, and most likely Clover on other 2 makes that damage gap non-existing for Hilde arrows, and that attack scales a lot better with Arabella dots than that 3-5 morale from Cassius would. But from my testing, Cassius is pretty comfy in terms of survival. Last unit that is used in third slot is Adelheid, but she is more of whale territory since she scales with her dupes and with her partner. Not recommending her at all for E0 players and without partner. She don't buffs your damage at all then. Overall, I would say this rift is really not free-to-play friendly. If we check at CZN meta, there is total 70 people in top 200 combined with E0 Ara and E0 E1 Hilde. That would be all from me. Enjoy some example turn from my run and see you next time.
さーて隙をついてこい
もう一度振ってみようか。
踊って悲鳴を上げなさい弓の名手の腕隙をついてこうやって存分にあがきなどうかしら
裏か表か。もう一度振ってみようか。
踊って悪くないわねさーて気合い入れていくよ逃げ道なんか
派手に行こうかね。裏か表か。じゃーん。
次は強力な攻撃が来ますわ逃げられないすべて終わり弓の名手の腕存分にあがきなさいさーて逃げ道なんか練習し行きましょう次は強力な攻撃が来ますわまとめて縛ってあげるわ弓の名手の腕逃げ道なんか完璧な攻撃
派手に行こうかね。騙されたかね。裏か表か。
観察の価値がないさような団長ブラックスピカの力をお見せ
やられてばかりはいないのさ。
存分にあがきなさいあがいてみせる踊ってあがいてみせる
裏か表。簡単だな。派手に行こうかね。こんなのはどうだい。
さーて気合い入れていくよ存分にあがきなさい踊って弓の名手の腕はあ存分にあがきなあがいてみせる踊ってあがいてみせるさーて隙をついてこうやって